Welcome, welcome. Today is what, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, whatever day it is. And I'm just here to do, a casual mental health check-in with someone from our community, a friend of mine, a very talented artist. If you're watching, let me know what y'all having to eat today. Like, I'm curious what y'all got going on. I'm actually gonna make a dope salad in a little bit and find something sweet to eat because I got a sweet tooth situation going on. So anyway, I'm here with Ameirah Neal, who is a very, very, very talented artist who's based here in New York now, from the DC area, the Baltimore, Maryland area. And we're going to have a check-in about Ameirah's mental health situation, what she's doing to get some joy, the wonderful art that she's doing. And we're actually going to be collaborating with Ameirah. Get Some Joy is for a June art therapy series. We've had one art therapy session so far. Hey! One art therapy session so far. And we're going to be collaborating with Ameirah for a beautiful, beautiful session. Hey, hey, hey. So I'm curious, Ameirah, first of all, thank you for being here. How are you doing today? How's your day going?
Of course.
Going on?
Oh, you know what? My day is going, it was a little interesting. Only because, like, sometimes, when you are dealing with mental health, you're in your head a lot, and sometimes, that's not the best place to be. So, you just kind of make things, simple things are not as hard or complex as you would make them,
Right.
Overthinking, and then thinking how to train your thoughts of what type of thoughts you're thinking. But overall today was a little rough, but for me, my biggest joy is just being able to create. If I'm able to just create and get it all out, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. So much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah. So let the people who are not familiar know who you are, and just tell us a little bit about where you are. I see some beautiful artwork behind you. Who you are and where you are joining us from today.
Okay, so again, my name is Ameirah Neal. I am an independent artist. I am from the Washington, D.C. area, the DMV. I lived all over, born in Prince George's County at a young age, lived in Washington, D.C., lived in Maryland, lived in Virginia, lived in Baltimore, lived all over the DMV, which is home to me and very dear to me. Also, my artwork is just like a reflection of just who I am and, what inspires me and what moves me. There were a lot of Black women, as growing up, in my life that I was surrounded by, so I've always saw, just phenomenal matriarchs of the family, just thriving, so that is like the reflection of my work, the importance of just owning your truth and just being who you are. And also, a lot of the times growing up, I remember for dark skin, for just Black women and Black and brown people in general, men, women, any and everyone in between, I heard the term a lot where, oh, you can't wear this red lipstick because you're too dark. You can't wear this hair color because you're too light. It'll wash you out. Or you can't wear this color because you're too dark. Or, I love all the colors. And I think that we should, in life, as hard as life may be and the challenges that life may give us, yes. But I also think that if we learn to color with all the crayons, with every color, it'll bring joy. You can find joy in that. And that's really just what I want to, this is really just what I hope my work transpires and really what I hope that it relays to people.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm 33. I'm a Capricorn. I like long walks to the bank.
Yes.
You know, but you know.
Yes, yes. I see some of the people here in the chat. By my sister's art, Ameirah, acrylics on canvas, Neal is a legend. That's right. That's right. And we're gonna
Period. Come on, sister. I love you, sister. Oh, shout out to my sister Yan, Phil Stewart, honey. Shout out to my
shout out Sister
sister.
Yen. It takes a village. It takes a village. So
It does.
what
It really does. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know what? That's what I am realizing. I'm realizing that you really got to lean on those who you love and who really love you and really who really wants to see you do just do great and be happy. You know, you really have to lean on those people as well as to provide space for those people to lean on you in return. So we're consistently pouring into each
right.
other. No one is pouring into someone and then their well went dry because they're pouring. You know, you have to consistently pour into me just as much as I'm pouring into you. And I think it's beautiful. I found that here, being here in New York City, and I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited to see like all the beautiful things that you're about to do here in this city that you've been doing. So we're gonna get into some of your work in a moment. One of the things that we're doing with Ameirah is collaborating on a art therapy series. We're continuing our series because we feel like art creativity, whether that's writing, sculpting, making wigs, doing finger waves, making scorch sets, whatever it is,
Whatever, yeah.
it is a great source of catharsis, freedom, tapping into creativity. So how does your art and your creativity support or affect your mental health situation, mental emotional wellness in general?
I really can't say that it cripples. It doesn't cripple. If anything, oh my God. In so many different ways. Like you know, being, you know, a trans woman, a Black trans woman, you know, and, you know, coming up and then not really understanding your transnesshood and then trying to find the words to, you know, to express this to your loved ones and your friends. You know, you're kind of ostracized and pushed out, you know, at a very young age because you're different. Again, this is my experience. I can't speak for everyone else. But for me, I remember at a young age, I had so many adults at this, like, you know, telling my mother, your child's gonna go to hell, your child this, your child that, your child this, your child that. So what I did was I found solitude in my work because I was able to express myself and I was able to draw and I was able to just like get things out, you know, visually. And it really took me to a different place, and it helped me in some of the most hardest times in my life, and even some of challenging times that I'm going through now. You know, it's still, my work is still pushing me. It's still pushing me. It's still, you know, it gives me a sense of purpose. And I feel like for someone who, not even just myself, but I feel like for people who, you know, battle with mental health issues, if we talk about it or if we don't talk about it, you know, having that sense of belonging and that sense of like achievement and that sense of just knowing like I can do this, I did this, I'm doing this, I'm going to do this. It gives you that push you need because you feel like you have a sense of belonging, and not only that, but you're creating this, whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's painting, whether it's fashion design, you're putting this out into the world. So you're allowing people to have pieces of you in your joy. And for me, that's beautiful across the board for any artist, that just to be that vulnerable with the world and the fragile state of the world where we are today. I think that's beautiful for artists to just give that, you know.
Have you always felt comfortable sharing your art yourself with the world in that way? Like, was there a journey? Was there, you know, I don't know, what has that been like, becoming more and more comfortable sharing yourself with the world in that way?
It took some time. It definitely took some time. It wasn't something that I learned to do overnight. I definitely had to learn to be more confident in myself because, again, you know, my work is, you know, a reflection of me. And because I come from a lineage of, you know, beautiful Black women, like that's representation of my work. And I also understand, you know, there are some individuals who feel, you know, because I am a trans woman, you know, the images that I may paint is trying to like display, you know, women in a sexual form. And it's like, no, it's more so like empowerment,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why, you know, you'll see some of my images and they're so bold, you know. It's just a sense of empowerment, being powerful. So I think to answer your question, it was like a journey that I had to go through to get to that stage to feel confident in my work. So it reflects now.
I love that.
You know.
Yes. Shout out to growth. I mean, you've done some amazing work. I saw some of one of my favorite ones is I think the one that you did with Brandon and Danye. That's one of my favorite pieces. Do you mind sharing a little bit of the work that you have in your studio behind you, or maybe some of your favorite pieces?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable with. You
So
know, I don't want to put you on the spot.
I'm currently working on. Now I don't know how to flip this camera. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I'm currently working on this piece. It's not done, so I know y'all looking at the wall right now because I have to set it up first. I'm working on this piece. It's called The Arrival. This is for the art exhibit that I am going to be featured in. It's called Black Coffee with some other amazing artists. I think this is like my favorite piece by far right now. It's not done. It's a work in progress, but you know, just a preview. And then I have some other pieces as well. This piece here, The Divine Output, was very sentimental to me in a lot of different ways. And, you know, a friend of mine, Jade, shout out to Jade, she had put together a transcendence exhibit that happened at Performance Space, and I actually featured this piece here. And it was also another piece, The Guardian, which is here with the blue hair. So these are some of my workings here. And this is a work in progress.
And so, as someone shared, you paint with acrylic paint?
Yes, acrylic on canvas.
Okay. How did you decide, or were you introduced? Yes, someone said those are beautiful. How were you introduced to like that as an art form? And have you painted with other, you know, other textures, other mediums as well?
So I went to college, and I really hope that this doesn't sound like I'm boasting because I'm really not. But I went to college at the Art Institute of York, Pennsylvania, and my major was fashion marketing. But like I always can draw. I always knew how to draw. Like I was just always, you know, able to create things with pencil, chalk, marker. So I went to school and I was in my fashion illustration course. I had a fashion illustration course. My teacher's name was Ms Bev at the Art Institute of York, Pennsylvania. And it's probably like 45 minutes to an hour outside of Baltimore. And Bev I would do these croquis, but they would have like breast and body and like
legs and hips.
She would just like, you know what? And my teacher, my instructor, I remember she sat me down and she said, why don't you play with that and build a portfolio? So I did. I took markers, color pencils, and I started to like draw out the same images that I kind of painting. And then it kind of progressed from college. Like I started playing with oil paint in college, watercolor. You know, it just kind of transpired and transcended and just did its own thing. And here we are. Yeah.
I love that. Shout out to Ms Bev. You know, it really takes like, I have a teacher like that too, my English teacher, who, you know, people who see something in you and can encourage you to see it further, you know, to pull that out of you, to see things in you that you don't even see in yourself. So have you let Ms Bev know how much she impacted your life, or that she has impacted your life?
I have not even talked to Ms Bev since, oh my God, since college, and I graduated in 2011. And then I went back to college after, unfortunately, my mom passed in 2012. And then I went back to college in Tampa to get my bachelor's degree in fashion design. So I don't even know. I have no idea how Bev is. I hope she's doing great. She was an amazing, amazing instructor. And I just remember her, you know, because at that time I was in college and I had started my transition in college. So I was it was different for me. College wasn't it's college experience for me. I was in a cocoon for like 2.5 years.
Okay.
But I still had to like go to my classes, you know? So, no, Miss Bev, she just hippie white lady with curly hair. Like she had like a curly fro with like salt, pepper, wore glasses. Bev was like, she saw something in me and she pushed me. And that's what landed me into painting.
What do you think she saw in you?
I don't know.
You know.
I don't know. I don't know what she saw. I don't know. I guess maybe she just saw something in me that I couldn't see within myself, you know?
That's all it takes.
You know?
Yeah, that's real. That's a beautiful feeling. So you mentioned your exhibit that you have coming up. Can you share about a little bit about what the exhibit is and, like, you know, what people can expect from you or the work that you hope to share there?
Oh, wow. So yes, of course. So it's called Black Coffee, and I met this amazing, amazing artist, and we just like interacted and connected, and we just like understood each other. He's so talented. He paints acrylic, but with it on glass. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. And he invited me to be a featured artist in the Black Coffee exhibit that's happening. The opening night is on the 17th of June at the Box Factory. And then there's another event happening, a tabling event that's happening on the 18th at the same location. So I'll definitely drop the flyer on my live. Just come out. You know, it's not going to be just me. It's going to be other amazing queer Black artists, you know, doing their thing, creating. You know, come out and support. You know, buy some art. You know, support Black artists. It's real. You know,
That's
support
right.
Black artists. Support Black artists across the board. You know, queer, straight, gay, alien, man. Support Black trans artists, particularly Black trans artists, but support Black artists across the board. You know, support. You know, that's one of the things that I feel like, you know, as the Black community, we have so many innovators, so many people who are just monumental, but they don't get the support. You know, they don't get the support that they need, you know? When I'm saying support, I'm not talking about pay a girl bills. That's not just given. Just, you know, show up, you know, word of mouth. If you know somebody who needs a commission piece, hit your girl up. If you know somebody who need a mural, hit your girl up. If you know somebody who need a logo illustration, hit your girl up. Hit me up. If you want a cartoon character on your pants, hit your girl up. I promise.
Hit your girl up.
I promise you won't be disappointed. I promise you won't be disappointed. I promise.
That's right. You want a mural on your school wall. You want a mural in your classroom. You want a gift for your birthday. You want a beautiful painting on a canvas bag. You want a motherfucking 20 by 20, whatever the fuck of whoever, and like you need to hit up Ameirah. For anyone who's watching and you have questions, feel free to, if you have questions for us or questions for Ameirah, feel free to share them so we don't miss them. Someone said you were definitely famous for the cartoons on the denim.
Say that again.
Said you were definitely famous for the cartoons on the denim.
Oh, period. Oh, Shawnee, hi. So that's oh, shout out to my sister. Oh, y'all, my sister just dropped my Venmo. So shout out to my sister. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I definitely did do denim when I was in elementary school. Yeah, that's my best friend Shawnee.
Yeah.
That's what the calm is. I used to do denim. I remember, oh my God. So you remember the Care Bears, right? I had a black jacket, and we called it the dope dealer jacket. And it was a dope dealer jacket because the dope dealers wore the jacket, right? It was the all black one, right? I painted the pink rainbow Care
On
Bear.
the jacket.
Mind you, this was all of like 2005. So yes, we have made progress, but just remember where we
Yes.
were in 2005. I think I was a sophomore in high school,
Come on,
and
innovator.
I came to school. I came to school and I had that damn pink Care
She's
Bear
a pioneer.
with the rainbow in the middle. And everybody was just like, oh, it looked good, but oh my God, like, oh my
Yeah, she's a
God.
pioneer. How far you've come though. That is such a beautiful.
Growth is
You done made it.
beautiful.
You're here
Growth
in the
is
big
beautiful.
city, chasing your dreams and stuff. So that's one exhibit. Are there two exhibits did you mention that you have? Was there a second one?
Oh yeah. So also shout out to Pancakes and Booze. I was at the Pancakes and Booze the last event. I think it was sometime in crap. I can't remember. There was another one that they had like the recent one that they had that just passed, and there's another one that's happening on the 14th of July, and there's going to be tons of amazing artists. It's happening in
Okay.
Brooklyn. Beautiful, beautiful artists creating beautiful, beautiful bodies of work. Come out and support. You know, just come out and support and have fun and mingle with artists, and chop it up. See some art. Art brings
It
joy.
does.
Art brings
It
joy.
does. Exactly. It does. It does. You just need um you need that little bit of color, that little bit of inspiration in your life. Someone has shared, about getting your artwork. How can someone get them some of Ameirah Neal's artwork in their lives to give them some joy?
Oh wow. So just DM me. DM me. It's at the Vain Beauty on Instagram. Ameirah Neal. That's AMEIRAH Neal NEAL at Gmail. You can email me. I respond to email. I'm working on a website that's up and coming. But you can DM me. You can send me an email. I'm always open for commissions. I would love to do some work, especially for my, Black and brown, trans and queer and gender nonconforming community. I would love, love, love to do some work. So,
Bam. Bam. Okay. Okay, so you're in New York now.
yes, I'm in New York now.
What So you
Yes.
never know who's watching. You never know what you speak into the universe. What's your big picture? What would you like to see? Where do you see yourself as an artist? How can people support you? Are there any spaces you're trying to get into? Places you see yourself being or existing, sharing your work?
I definitely just would like, as much as the accolades and everything is that's amazing. Those things are great. For me, it's more so I just want, because I feel like in the world, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but just me being a Black trans woman and having that of a trans experience, there's an attack on our youth right now, and I just want to be able to provide like an outlet for these babies to express and create, and to let them know that they're not alone, and to let them know that there are people like them who are fighting for them, fighting for their dreams and for their
Yes.
future, for them to not have to worry about the shit that we had to worry about as Black and brown and queer and trans individuals. You know what I'm saying? That's more so of what my bigger picture would look like. Ideally, I would like to start like some type of art program for youth, queer youth, trans youth, straight youth. I want it to be for youth, period. I want it to be for all of us, because it's the labels that makes us sound like we're different. But in a lot of the ways, we're not different. We're all
That's
the
right.
same, We just have different experiences. So I want it to be for all youth. And I want youth, just ideally, this would look like, this is just me going off the brain here, painting, playwriting, theater, audio production, because, the babies make music too. I want it to be a large spectrum of things. But right now, that's out there. But right now, support the doll. Come to the exhibits, hit the girl up if you need some work, if you know somebody who needs some work. I do this for a living. This is how I sustain myself, despite what some others may feel. So hit a girl up.
Right.
If you need anything, just let me know. I'm not trying to rob nobody or get over on prices. I'm very flexible.
But you gotta eat. But you gotta eat. Logos, murals, face masks, tote bags, acrylic on denim, or whatever it is, like Ameirahs who you want. Darby, any questions? Darby, you want to hop in and say hello? You want to send a request? Any questions?
Yeah, what's going on, Darby? What's going on, Darby? Does any other girls want to chime in?
Yes, we want to.
What's going on?
Ian, you want to dip in, Ian? Transplantings. Anybody else want to come say hello? Feel free. Love to chat in. Shower Miss Ameirah with some love.
Hey, Cece.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hey.
What's goody? What's up?
What's it giving? What's it giving?
What's up?
How you doing? How you doing?
Let me put on a shirt.
Girl, I was just supposed to be watching. Why you got
Let
me
those
on
titties be
right
free.
now?
Oh, well, they will be fucking.
Let the titties be free. It's
Okay.
cool.
How is everybody? I'm so happy to see everybody on here. I love y'all so much. The people that I see in front of me right now.
I'm gonna have to hit you up about a shirt idea.
Oh, I love you so much.
Cause yeah, I gotta hit you up about a shirt idea. Cause I love shirts with logos and stuff like that. So definitely gotta talk. Cause I live for a fab shirt logo moment. But how are you, Miss Extraordinary Artist? All these exhibits and whatnot. I'm like, hold on. Miss Thing just got here. She just got here.
I am very overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed. But I will say that I know that I have people around me who love me, and people around me who really want to see me do good, and people around me who genuinely support me. So with that, I can't fail.
Yes,
I can't fail.
Yes. It takes a village, and y'all, we got a bunch of amazing people on here. We were talking to Ameirah about art therapy, a series that she's doing with us, and I know as creative people, curious for both of y'all. If you want to introduce yourself and do the whole thing, that's cool. But I'm just curious how your art, your creativity, whatever your lane is, how that has impacted or supported your mental emotional health situation. Since this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I love to get people talking about feelings and shit.
Darby, you want to go first, baby?
I'll go. Well, hi, for those who don't know me on this live. I am Darby. I am a dramaturg, actor, and playwright. I just finished my first year at Columbia dramaturgy program, getting my MFA. So talking about art and therapy, playwriting was therapeutic for me the whole first year because, one, as a person who deals with PTSD, I've learned that the arts help me deal with trauma that is not always about the present current moment. A lot of times, and I feel like a lot of us, we walk with things that we have experienced and haven't, even if we've gone to therapy, we've done the work, there's that time you hear that knock and it reminds you of something different, and you just have that moment. And theater has allowed me to be like, it's okay to have that. And what does it look like to take care of myself? And what does it mean to write that a character takes care of themselves? Like actually using my imagination to say, what does self-care look like? Or what does care look like? And then putting it out there and allowing it to be explored through the body. Because to me, that's where these things, they sit. So as an artist and using theater, especially, getting to the things that are in our body that maybe text cannot give me, but movement and sound and all these other things can help me at least be able to exist and live with the things that are in my body, if not release them, because everything may not go in that one performance, and that's real, may not go in several, but it allows me to walk through the next day and go, okay, you might be with me, but you don't control me. And that's what, like, that's something I'm really interested in also working with. So I love what you were talking about, Ameirah, like, especially with the kids. Like, the kids, I think they need that. They need something like that with the arts.
And the reason why, like, I'm so, like, you know, focused on, like, youth. Number one, I used to be a youth peer educational coordinator at the nonprofit organization in DC called SMILE, Sexually Minority Youth Alliance League. And this amazing nonprofit, it's a safe haven for LGBTQ youth, babies as young as 13 years old, to come and express. They have workshops. I remember the time that I was there, they had a theater workshop. This is what it's about. Because, you know, when you're an adult, you know, it's kind of hard to penetrate adults. We have our own traumas. We're stuck in our ways. We just don't want to listen. Sometimes we don't want to look at ourselves, you know, but if we can pour the love that we didn't have, if we can pour them into the babies at a younger age, we can hopefully set a course correct. And I know that's a strong language, but I'm hoping that we can set a course correct. Because if we keep going the way that we're going now, I mean, yeah.
A mess.
Sister, you quiet? What you thinking, baby?
No.
It's the haircut for me. It's the haircut for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Ian. I use they, she pronouns. Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly was quiet because I disagree with everything that everyone has said. Like Darby, I really resonate with what you were talking about how art lives in the body and how that relationship between using body as instrument and also that instrument acting upon your body and like the reciprocal relationship and how that works. You know, because for me, like I have grown up in the arts. Like I went to an arts high school, and so every week I was surrounded by visual artists, creative writers, musicians and singers and dancers and theater folk. And so in that way, like I feel like, you know, it's almost like art is such a part of me that sometimes I forget to go to it to heal because it has become this thing that I do for my career, this thing that I do to, like, you know, support myself. And I think that you know, I'm blessed enough to have, you know, one of the incredible pieces that Ameirah Neal has created, and it is in my home. And I think that, like, surrounding myself with that art, surrounding myself with art in general is so healing and centering. And it's like it's so funny. I've been doing a lot of, like, kind of self-reflective work and trying to sort of, like, actually see myself instead of kind of seeing myself through a filter or a lens that is warped in some way. And I bought this painting when I went to go support Ameirah at her show, Pancakes and Booze. And I saw this other artist and I fell in love with this piece. And I was like, oh my God, this piece is so beautiful. This woman, like, this figure is so stunning. And while we're talking about it, but, like,
yeah, show it. What's the artist? Do you remember the artist's name?
And I feel terrible about that.
Oh no, I met them. I forgot their name. I'm so sorry.
So sorry to this artist, but this was the piece.
Ooh.
Isn't that just
beautiful?
Gorgeous?
Beautiful work.
Isn't that just stunning?
Beautiful work.
Oh, that is
beautiful. Hey, sister, see if we can. Sister, do you think we can see the signature?
Oh, the
Maybe we can see
signature.
who the artist is, so we can try to tag them.
Also, while we're here, let me show the people Ameirah's work on the wall.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
So I am very blessed to live with that every day. But
yes.
you know, but like as I was saying, you know, it's like I bought that piece and I was just like, oh, I felt like, you know, oh, this woman is so beautiful. This woman is so beautiful. And I've had so many people come into my home and be like, is that a self-portrait of you? and it's kind of wild to me, or not a self-portrait, but a portrait of you, like, or a commissioned piece of you. And it was like, it was wild to me to kind of realize that, you know, I was so disconnected from my own appearance or my own whatever, that it's like I couldn't even see that I was like finding the beauty in myself in a piece of art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that having people able to comment on that was this way, and it's made that piece so special to me because it almost feels like a mirror in my home, you know? So it's just, yeah. So I think art is, I could talk about art all day.
I love that. I love that. I'm so glad that you mentioned self-reflection and like looking at and like acknowledging yourself. And as far as all of that resonates with, and how art can be a tool in that way. I've been using writing in a way to like get into a lot of that stuff. So like I love this conversation because I cut my hair like 3 weeks ago, like yesterday, I think. And so I had my hair for 18 years.
And look good,
like,
and look good, and look good.
Good.
And thank you.
Really?
I'm still adjusting, but like, I was not like you. I was not seeing myself. Like I was working hard to not, I hated looking at myself. Like it was just all of that shame and fear. And so this is a big thing, but like writing, being able to write my way through those emotions, being able to like write and express my way through that, you know, through literary therapy workshops with GetSomeJoy, through my journaling, you know, through writing prompts that I'm doing with other people. Like it's just been so freeing and transformative. And it's been, I think like Ameirah said, like it reminds me that you're not alone. And like not only the therapy of like my own art, but like reading and getting into other people's stories, memoirs, essays and things, and seeing how other people overcame their struggles and shit like that. It just, it makes you feel less like a shitty mess. Like, and so I'm thankful for like other people's expressions and vulnerability. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, Ian. What is something that creatively, we just had I'm just thinking of to have 2 questions. We recently had a literary therapy session about spring cleaning and making space for joy. And a lot of the things that people were talking about were things like clearing clutter so you can make way for new blessings, new this, new that, new, you know, new everything, new opportunities, new da 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 da. And since we're in the space of spring, and this is a big transitional moment, I don't want to get too deep with it, but I guess my question is,
Yes, you do. What are you talking about? Yes, you do.
I mean, no, I'm just, you know, this is not therapy. I mean, I'm just curious though, like, so with that, you know, you're doing your self-reflection, you're getting into yourself, you're looking into yourself, you are exploring new things about yourself. Like, what's possible on the other side of that? Like, as, you know, now that you are looking at yourself, now that you are acknowledging yourself, and also too, I mean, we're all in transition. Darby, you are just finishing a semester of school, stepping into a new professional and creative phase of life. Ameirah is, you know, chasing dreams in a whole new city and leveling up in some beautiful ways. So I'm just curious, like, we're all in transition. I just think everybody's always in transition. What is possible, or what would you like to see as possible on the other side of this kind of transitional phase for you? I know what's possible for me. I'll let y'all go first, though.
That's a good question.
I'll mention for me, like it, as a creative person, I think actually going through a process of, I'm not thankful for like all the struggle and the shame and the this and the that, but I think coming to a phase of like the whole radical self-awareness and then actually moving in through the other side of it, it made me feel more honest as a facilitator, as a writer, as a creative. So I just feel like for me, it just makes me more honest. It allows me to be more honest, to like and create from a more authentic place for me. Now that you're like, I don't know, I feel like before in some ways I feel like I was hiding, I wasn't being authentic, all of the above. But I just think that going through that process of like self-reflection and using that in my personal life, but also in my creative work and stuff, it just allows me to connect with people in a different way. That's just me.
I think for me, it's been moving with more integrity with my work and just as a person. Realizing that there is really a lot of power in just claiming oneself fully and walking in that. I think I've been like rethinking a lot about what Toni Morrison wrote in Beloved. To free yourself is one thing, claiming ownership of that free thing is another. So like just being able to say, this is Darby at this moment. And it's not going to be the most permanent part of myself because I'm always in a place of changing.
Right.
I can say this is who I am and actually feel firm in that. And artistically, I feel like I move it with much more like I feel like not that my idea of success is different. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, all the awards, all the Tonys, all Broadway, da 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 da. It's more like, is my work authentic? Does it have an actual perspective and point of view? And is it touching somebody? If I can touch one person, then I've done my due deals.
Real.
It's not a. I've come to a place where if I get all the high acknowledgement, kudos to me. Okay, that's cute, but I care more about, is my work moving in the world authentically and with integrity? Because if it's able to do that, then I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
How do you balance that integrity and the authenticity with the fact that we live as artists, like we're in capitalist fuck shit society, and that we gotta eat and we gotta. So like, how do y'all balance that?
It is hard. It's one of the things I'm finding out now because like I go to Columbia and all the people they put us around, and it's like, yeah, that could make me a coin. So what I guess when I think of that aspect, if I feel like I'm at a point where I'm selling myself, I start to ask myself, you say yes to this once, are you able to say no to it the next time? If you don't think you can say no the next time, don't say yes the first time. Because once it becomes a habit, not trying to break that habit, it's going to be 10 times worse. Do I want to make it a habit to say yes to this? And it's been a lot of that for me now. I think I'm in that negotiating period. Like I really could go a whole nother route leaving Columbia. That is very different. But do I want to say yes to spaces where I am constantly the only Black person? Do I want to say yes to spaces where I know the work is commodifying and it's more insulting, but it makes me a nice bag? Do I want to continue saying yes to that? Because I'm going to look back on it and wish I said no. At least I think I will.
Yeah.
So that is a hard thing to kind of navigate in some ways, because it is understanding that, yes, I do need to make money to support myself. I do want my work to bring me some type of capital or money in, but do I want to become the oppressing artist who is doing more stealing from other people, who is doing more getting resources from other artists who need it? Do I want to become that? And what are the ways that I may be saying yes and I don't know? Because that's the hard part. I may not know I'm saying yes to it. So it's not an easy question. It's not an easy dance. And sometimes I'm like, man, can I just write a movie for Marvel and get money, and then y'all don't see me ever again mainstream? Like, it's like the days I'm like, man, can I just get a big bag from writing a big Hollywood movie that was an action movie so we don't think too much about it, and then I just drift away and I do stuff like teaching and whatever. Like, it's a weird thing, but yeah, it is. I think that's part of my journey, is sticking to that integrity and authenticity.
Chile. I'm curious for you, Ian. How do you, or if that has come up, having to, the dance with authenticity and being who you are, and also being like, but I got to eat, and this is also, this is the capitalist fuck shit society anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think that partly for me is that made the decision very early on in my life that, or very early on in my career, when I first came here, I said, you know, I'm going to make sure that whatever my day, or do everything I can to make sure that whatever my day job is, you know, while I'm supporting myself and keeping food on the table, while I'm being an actress and pursuing that, whatever I do, I will make sure that it aligns with my values, so that I can, I will always have another tool in my belt. I will always have another choice, another option, so that if there is a role that, you know, that comes along that I don't want to accept, I won't accept it. Or, you know, I've worked very hard to make sure that to be whatever Ian I am that day. And I don't say that to mean that there are like a bunch of Ians running around, but just to mean, like, you know, I think that there are some days where I'm like, I'm more willing to accept, you know, I'm like more willing to just like eat shit and be like, I really just don't feel like dealing with you today. You're not gonna get a rise out of me. And there are other days where I was like, no, I have the time and I'm gonna make the time. Um, and I think that whatever Ian arrives in the space that day is the Ian that I'm gonna show up as. Um, and that has, I mean, I'm also in an interesting position in that, like, something like, you know, I've achieved a certain level of success and gained a platform from doing something that has nothing to do with what I'm pursuing. Well, it has everything to do with what I'm pursuing and nothing at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, it's not in my art, let's say that. You know, it is not in the vision of what I always knew for myself, because the reality is that I never had small ambitions and never had small dreams. I always dreamed of a big life for myself. I
Yes.
always, like, I am determined to be the next Viola Davis, and I'm going to pursue that with every part of my being.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hello.
I recognize that with that comes greater access, comes a larger platform, comes being invited into rooms filled with people that I really don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that for me, what that means is that I I am very, very protective of my private life, because my private life is where I live. And I don't, I hope that that makes sense what I mean by that, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like my people who I love, who I am myself with, who I am all of myself with, is the people that I come home to, whatever home
Yeah.
looks like. And
Yes. Yes.
so what that means for me is that Ian Field Stewart, you know, she arrives in all of the rooms that she goes to, and we love that for her. But girl, as Ameirah knows, Ian by herself is not Ian Field Stewart. Those are two very different people. They're the same. They are in the same woman, in the same body, and I am. They're not. Neither of them is dishonest. But if I'm going to be very honest about who I am and where I want to be, it has absolutely nothing to do with glitz and glam. It has a lot more to do with being on the couch with my dog, some good friends, and some good weed. And
Hello.
Yes.
that's and that could really sustain me for the rest of my life, because I
I say.
something else I've been recognizing is that, you know, truly at the core of who I am, if I had a button that I could press tomorrow and I could make this world that we live in so much simpler, and I could live in a neighborhood and just live in a neighborhood full of us, and each of us has a role that we fill. Ameirah is the visual artist, and she provides that art. I am the storyteller, and so I walk out of my home, walk down to the community center, and I tell stories. And if I could do that all day, I would. But
Hmm.
we live in a capitalist society, and the reality is that I want to be the next Viola Davis, not just because I want to wear fancy gowns and take nice pictures, because I do want those things. Like, it's kind, yes. Why not be kind for a night? Who doesn't like a little moment, a little fantasy? But I want to be the next Viola Davis because I want to be able to tell the kinds of stories that she is able to tell, and I want to have the choice to say, this is the story I'll tell. And I want to be able to say, not only is this the story that I will tell, but these are the people you'll bring in the room to help me tell that story,
Yes. Yes.
because that is the thing that I find the most infuriating. You know, I just announced today that I'm back in the theater for the first time in 2 years, which is so wonderful. And also, it's the first time that I'm working for white people again, and I haven't had to do that for 2 years, and it's not fun. And I have to bite my tongue a lot, and I am so excited to reach the day where what I experienced in the last 2 years, where I was able to really determine who my people were and where my people were able to come, I can do that in my art. And I can do that wholeheartedly and without question. And because at the end of the day, I'm also a brat and I don't like being told what to do. I like to say, no, this room is going to be full of niggas doing nigga shit.
Yes. Yes.
It's very
Period.
simple.
Yes.
It's like, and it's just, and because more often than not,
On handstand.
hello, because more often than not, our Black creativity is wasted on us having to explain to all of these fucking white people and all of these fucking institutions, or all of these Black people who want to be white people, or all of these non-Black people of color who want to be white people. We have to spend all of our time trying to explain ourselves or appease them, when really at the end of the day, baby, I don't give a damn what you think. I just want us to be able to talk to us.
Baby.
And what can happen if that happens?
Can we, I mean, just that, thank you for that.
Yes.
A moment of silence for all of the wasted, the dumbing down and just, you have to dim your light so much to get by and to appease. And shout out to having the ability, the platform to like not have to do that, to not have to explain or to put little notes and parentheses in the margin and the footnotes to talk about what, some XYZ term is, or to talk about what Banji cunt means, or like whatever it is, to have to break down, what things mean and who this is for and all of that shit and all this other context. I love that.
And I also want to name, though, like, let's be clear that it doesn't just, like, we can start doing that now. We just also have to be ready to face the consequences of that. And that's why I say, like, I believe that artists, if you are able to, because not every artist is able to, and there's nothing shameful about that, but if that is what you want, if you don't want to have to whittle yourself down or make yourself smaller in any way, I really want artists to find ways to support themselves outside of the arts, because I think, and particularly in the theater, let me just speak to theater people specifically. A lot of theater people are really stuck in the theater world and don't even recognize that there's a world outside of it. And realistically, there is a systemic nature to that, because at the end of the day, theater is made up of a lot of people who are stuck in poverty, and they are stuck in poverty because they're told that their shot is coming, and it's abusive and it's harmful and it's fucked up. And I want for theater artists, specifically actors especially, to, yes, go for the job. And if it's the only thing you can do, and if you're willing to do it, like I was that girl. I was willing to be poor. I was willing to have nothing for as long as it took for me to get something. And then I accidentally got something. And then I realized, oh, this is what life can be like when I can not only take care of myself, but I can take care of other people as well. And I realized, oh, I don't know that I intend to go back. So
yeah, that's right.
So if you can, please have something else that you can do while you wait for your something to come along, so that you don't have to whittle yourself down, because the process of building yourself back up is excruciating and it's not fair. And we shouldn't have to all be like making ourselves smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to then suddenly get this big opportunity where we are expected to then all of a sudden make ourselves big to match the opportunity that was never given to us, that we were never promised. It doesn't make any sense. And so if there's a way for you to keep yourself as beautiful and large and full of life as you can every step of the way, that's what I want for theater artists. And the way that I have found to do that, and I'm one person with one idea. The way that I have found to do that was to make sure that, girl, if you needed me at a nonprofit, baby, I can work in a nonprofit. You need nonprofit arts admin, I can do that. And I can do it at any theater company. Oh, you need some EDI work? Fine, I'll do that. You need a play written, I write too. You need a dancer, I dance. You need a singer, I sing. You need an actor, I act. And I just made sure that I had as many things that I could do as possible. And that's so far, it's treated me well. And I'm hoping to continue to do all of that.
Yes. Gifts. Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing.
And don't be afraid to have that outside job. They try to make folks like say, oh, if you have a plan B, baby, that is plan eat. That is plan stay sane. Okay, it's not plan B. It's plan take care of you. Because the way it's out here, it's built on purpose for us to literally fight amongst each other and think it's scarcity. All these artists out here in this scarcity, somebody's lying.
It's enough room for the table for all of
So destroy
us.
the table.
For all of
Why is
us.
there a table?
And guess what? But if the table gets too packed, guess what you could do? Bitch, you could build another table.
That part.
Because I honestly believe that the creator that I serve will provide me the tools that I need to create my own table. So I don't have to worry about sitting at anybody else's table.
Say that.
The food is nasty at that table anyway.
You know?
They food season.
It ain't got no seasoning in it.
Got raisins in the potato salad. Like, girl.
Wow, y'all, this is I'm so thankful. I'm so glad that this popped up and that y'all came in here to join us. As we on a mouthful of time, can you all share how people can know more about and support the work that you is doing? And if there's anything you want to plug, promote, share, tell people about in this space as well.
Well, for me, first things first, I have to shout out this amazing space that I am in. It's called the Andrew Freeman Home in the Bronx. I am so grateful and thankful to be able to create at this beautiful place and space and be able to meet so many beautiful beings and make new friendships. So I just wanted to put that out there because I just feel like I needed to get that off my chest. How could you support? If you need some art, let me know. If you need a painting, let me know. This is real. People really do try to sustain themselves, from making from their talents, So you can't tell people, oh, go get a job, when jobs can be created around artwork. You can have somebody come in and teach a dance. You can have somebody come in and write a play. You can have somebody come in and do theater coaching. These things can be created. We have to really invest in our community. When we say invest in Black, we really have to mean that. And I feel like it's a plethora of how we can show examples of that. Again, if you need any work, that's one of the best ways that you could support. If you know anyone who needs anything done, I do a plethora of things. DM me. My email address is pinned. That's basically it.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I'm gonna share your information again. And Ameirah has 2 exhibits coming up in the near future. Could you just share those dates for the exhibits, Ameirah, real quick?
Oh, yes. So the exhibit that's happening is called Black Coffee. That is opening night is the 17th of June at the Box Factory. I will put the flyer in my live. So that's on the 17th, and then there's another tabling event that's happening on the 18th. Again, there's going to be myself and a plethora of amazing other Black and brown and queer artists come out and support. Then July 14th, I will be at Pancakes and Booze, posted up in the cut. So, come through. I'll have some merch. I have some merchandise and some things like that. So, come through and come out and support the dolls,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm pinning your information right at the bottom. If you need commissions, if you need art, would like to support a teacher, a facilitator.
And if you just want to drop a bitch $20 just to help her, get a bitch a sandwich or some shit. Just
if you know somebody who got it, if you know a nonprofit, somebody who is donating and supporting important people, you can send them Ameirah's way for sure. Ian or Darby, would you care to share what you got going on?
I am doing a show this summer at Little Island NYC. If you go to my page, you can see the information for it. I'm very excited for the show, and I hope that you all come out. It's called The Big Mix. June 16th through July 3rd. But for the purposes of this live today, I really am here in solidarity and support with my sister Ameirah. So I really like y'all. Please like drop some coin on my sister, drop some support, get the merchandise, get all the things. Because I'm just so proud of her and all the things that she's doing. I've had a front row seat to her rise, and I'm just so excited to see all the things that she's gonna do. So please, everybody, make sure you go out and support my girl and blow her shit up because it needs to be blown up. Everybody needs to see the gorgeous art that she makes. Of course, she would also make a
And can I
website. If she
also
would
can I
make a
also interject and
website,
say
that
just
would be
one thing?
fire. I'm done now.
Yeah.
Keep going, girl. What you saying?
I'm sorry. I said, can I just say one thing? This is what I say that community looks like. You know, a lot of the times people think that you need materialistic things, and all those things help us, but just merely word of mouth, that helps. That goes a long way, not with just myself, but with all of us. You know, we should all be plugging each other
Yeah.
in. It shouldn't be oh, I don't want to plug her in because I don't want her to get it. I want to get it. No, we should plug each other in, and we should just do it genuinely because we all want to see each other win. This is what community looks like. And Ian, thank you so much. And I love you so much. I love you so much.
You can reach me on here. You can DM me for any writing projects. I am a great script consultant. I can go back and forth about talking about ideas. I love working with new work, especially. So if you have a brand new script, need somebody to read it, give you some feedback as a dramaturg, I am really adept in that. Also with in rehearsal work, and talking with actors and how to build and create character. I'm really good on like that tip. I can do some awesome coaching on monologues. Kid loves a monologue. So any of those things, you can always hit me in the DM. And we can go from there. I mainly also came to support my TT. So y'all see anything dealing with Ameirah, you need anything talking about art, a logo, you just want to drop somebody, a coin, she right there. Because that's mainly what I came in for too. So those are ways you can catch me. I actually have a show that I'm singing at with something a little song I wrote.
Don't say little song.
So
Don't say little song.
it is.
The
I'm
girl
saying
can
I don't want to say it's
sing. The
a.
girl
When I
is
say little,
talented,
I mean
honey.
it. It is actually basically a small hymn that I wrote for my own play. The artist was also my teacher, asked me to collab on her show with my song. So we have our first performance. Well, we started back up. We start next Tuesday. I'll post information on my page. So if you follow me, I'm going to be putting that information up. And yeah, so I have some performance dates as well. You can come check me out there. We can talk. It's at a restaurant because she wants to explore different ways to do where theater can happen. We don't always have to go to a stage or to a theater. We can have more theatrical moments in smaller, other different settings. So that's what we're doing with the restaurant in Harlem. So come out, get a drink, enjoy a 1-hour show. It's pretty dope. And yeah.
Slamming. Period. Yes. Let the girls know about that when we can check that out to come see this song. Yeah. Thank you both. If anyone needs to drop off, I'm so thankful for you. I'm gonna probably be here following up for a little bit. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you for all the love and the support and the way that you are supporting our girl here. And you too, Darby.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate y'all so
Thank
much.
you.
Love
Have a good
every
night.
single person on this
Thank you.
screen.
Yay. Yay, Black people. So yeah. Thank y'all. Thank you both. I'm going to be here. We are having and I'll post it here under this as well. If you go to GetSomeJoy.com, anyone who's watching, we have flyers for our spiritual wellness series that we're doing with Keem Has the Dream. It's a 6-part series, and we got our first one on Saturday. And tomorrow we actually have a spiritual wellness check-in. You can go to GetSomeJoy.com for that information. And it's just basically to unpack what came up from the session. Keem, they did a great job letting us know, helping us walk through a session on spirituality rooted in African diasporic Black queer trans, from a Black queer trans lens, from a disability justice lens. Again, hit up GetSomeJoy.com. You'll see it pinned on my profile here. And it's going to be dope. We got 2 more weeks of that session, 2 more workshops, and 3 spiritual wellness check-ins to come. So Ameirah, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for your time. Again, y'all follow Ameirah, get some art, commission Ameirah to do your logos, to do your art projects, to paint murals on your wall, to paint bags, to do all the things. Yeah, I'm so thankful for you, Ameirah. You'll be seeing Ameirah's face on my page on Go Get Some Joy more a lot soon, because we'll be featuring Ameirah in our next month's art therapy series. We're going to be doing painting with Ameirah. You'll be able to come, bring your markers, pens, crayons, whatever you got.
It's going to be a whole vibe.
Paint on canvas, paint on the wall, paint on note cards, Post-its, whatever you got. We're going to be talking about art as a form of, catharsis, therapy, healing, wellness, community building, all of that stuff. So shout out to you, Ameirah. This has been beautiful. Feel free to, I will send you this video afterwards so you can share it. I'll be sharing some of Ameirah's work on my page if anybody wants to cop some art, because that's how you really show support. And yeah, have a good night, Ameirah.
Thank you so much, Alec. This has been amazing. Yes. Thank you so much. I have gotten so much joy from this. And shout out to Darby and my sister Ian. Y'all are amazing. I love y'all so much, and thank you so much for this. This is a beautiful. And I'll see y'all soon, I hope.
Yes, hit us up, hit Ameirah up, y'all. Have a good night. Do something that brings you joy. Thank you so much, Ameirah. I'll talk to you soon. All right, y'all. So that was Ameirah Neal. Follow her. You see the information pinned down below, the Vain Beauty. Yeah. We just had a simple check-in with Ameirah. I just wanted to stop through this is second to last week of Mental Health Awareness Week. And yeah, I want to invite you to follow Get Some Joy. You'll see, I'm gonna just type it here, follow, Go Get Some Joy, for wellness events and so forth. So this has been cool. Thank y'all for watching. The replay of this video will be available right after I hang up or whatever. Drink some water, eat something delicious, do something that brings you joy. Have a good night. Holla.